Reddit. What is the most fucked up way you got back at someone that wronged you? Obviously I am going to use one. Back in high school I dated a girl for 6 months before she decided it wasn't working out anymore and she cheated on me with about 6 guys and stole my iPhone and wallet to buy drugs. I wanted to report her to the police like my parents encouraged me to, and to prevent me from doing such her brother jumped me while I was walking home with his friends. Busted open my lip pretty badly and threatened to kill me if I reported him or his sister. My dad got a new job and we moved to a new city, but I was still pissed about this whole situation, so I did the next best thing. I created 2 fake Facebook accounts of a random hot girl and guy, spent some time making it look legit with friends and such, and added her brother on Facebook with the girl and my ex with the guy. It wasn't too long before he started flirting me up and tried his best to get in this girl's pants. On the other hand, having already courted my now ex, I knew exactly what to say to charm her to the point that she was in love with me. This is where it all begins to get fun. I started a sexting relationship between the brother and sister with me as the intermediate thanks to Google Voice. Both of them had fairly typical South Florida bodies, so nothing really gave anything away, and I did a fair amount of photoshopping to remove identifiers in the room that may give away anything. This went on for about a month and a half, totaling about 200 or so nudes between the two of them, when I decided to reveal the curtain and send a group of unedited pictures that included key identifiers. Oh holy Jesus, how shit went down. I only wish I had some way to see how they reacted. Friends who still lived there told me her brother moved in with his dad that week and that they no longer spoke. All in all, about 4 months till I got my revenge, but it was amazing. I ate it for calling my mom when my husband refused to listen to me. I recently moved into my first home. I am also 4 months pregnant with our first baby. The pregnancy has been very hard. I have horrible morning sickness. It reached a really bad point where I passed out, hit my head, and my doctor admitted me to the hospital for a week. When I got home, my husband allowed his brother's family to move into 2 of our 3 bedrooms. One room was my office, was tossed into our room, papers everywhere. The house was a complete wreck. Trash, dirty clothes, used diapers. I started to cry. It was like a light flipped. My husband was no longer the same. My husband told me it wasn't that bad. My reply was, fine then, you should have the house cleaned up before I wake up. Completely exhausted, I fell asleep for 4 hours. I woke up and went to get a drink of water. I couldn't. Every glass we own is scattered around the house. They didn't clean a single thing. I passive-aggressively started to pick up the dirty dishes and washed them. The following morning, I was trying my best to work when their kids were crying non-stop, banging on the walls, so on. Their mom was in her room for hours ignoring them. When my husband came home, he was upset with me over how I didn't make his brother's wife feel welcome in our home by helping with their kids when she was tired. Then continued to complain how nothing was done while he was at work all day in the house. Yet the same one he didn't clean. That led to a fight where I told him I am too sick to have company and they need to leave. To which he replied they are his family and he won't kick them out. I started to cry again. I was beyond frustrated, exhausted. I physically couldn't do it anymore. I called my mom asking if I could come stay with her, telling her the whole story in front of my husband, who at this point was completely shocked, angry. Also I could tell he wasn't sure what to do. My mom came with my brothers. My mom, super angry, told my husband, since your family can stay, so can we. My mom quickly took charge. I was sent to bed. My brothers started cleaning, complaining loudly at how disgusting my Bill family is, along with what a horrible husband my husband is for putting me through this while I am sick. I got a text message from my mill for calling me an A for not helping my husband clean up the house and putting my Bill in an uncomfortable position by having my mom boss him around. Edited to add update. When my mill showed up, she was super angry outside. I could hear shouting but couldn't understand what was said. Once inside, she was shocked. My house looked really bad. My Bill lied to her about what happened. My mill quickly started to help my mom in the bossing mode. My house is not just cleaned but deep cleaned. My Bill and his kids are now staying with Mill. She didn't know about the eviction. My in-laws helped them financially a couple of months ago. My Mill was not happy about it. Sil refused to come out of the bedroom. She would scream through the door, but that was about it until her family came to pick her up. Last little bit. I did talk to my husband. He seemed very remorseful. I asked for some space. He is staying at a hotel. He asked to come by and talk to me tonight. My mom and dad are here. Both moms felt like I should have someone here since I am sick. Both moms have set up a meal plan, where they trade off who will bring in dinner. It was my Mill idea. Talk with husband. Summed up, since it lasted 4 hours, it was a hard talk. He is remorseful. Bill was only supposed to stay for a couple of nights, then leave. Originally he thought they would be gone before I got home. He said he is tired and emotionally upset himself. When I originally passed out, my husband left to help a friend move. He came home and found me. He said he has no idea how long I was on the floor hurt. He was originally scared I had died. Since then he has had nightmares, on top of dealing with his family drama. He admitted to dumping his frustration onto me, when it's not my fault. He begged me for another chance. The next steps. We are still separated. He plans on staying at my brother's house in his casita. We are going to go to marriage counseling and individual counseling. He asked if he could come when the home health nurse comes each night and to my doctor's appointments. I agreed to that. Update on Bill. His wife admitted to having an affair. She told him she got married too soon and doesn't want the responsibilities of being a mom anymore. My mom and dad are here. Both moms felt like I should have someone here since I am sick. Both moms have set up a meal plan, where they trade off who will bring in dinner. It was my Mill idea. Talk with husband. Summed up, since it lasted 4 hours, it was a hard talk. He is remorseful. Bill was only supposed to stay for a couple of nights, then leave. Originally he thought they would be gone before I got home. He said he is tired and emotionally upset himself. When I originally passed out, my husband left to help a friend move. He came home and found me. He said he has no idea how long I was on the floor hurt. He was originally scared I had died. Since then he has had nightmares, on top of dealing with his family drama. He admitted to dumping his frustration onto me, when it's not my fault. He begged me for another chance. The next steps. We are still separated. He plans on staying at my brother's house in his casita. We are going to go to marriage counseling and individual counseling. He asked if he could come when the home health nurse comes each night and to my doctor's appointments. I agreed to that. Update on Bill. His wife admitted to having an affair. She told him she got married too soon and doesn't want the responsibilities of being a mom anymore. I am not sure what will happen with him and his kids, but I am shocked that she feels this way, especially with her kids. IAMA. My wife of 10 years has cheated on me on 3 occasions. Recently, my 5-year-old daughter accused my younger brother of touching her. Background on my wife and I. We met in 1999. She was 15 and I was 17. She was my first GF. We discovered sex for the first time together. We were legally married for immigration reasons. I will admit that in hindsight, I was not as focused on her as much in the beginning. She hated my gaming hobby and saw it as a competition for my attention. On my side, I was not used to having a GF, and was having difficulty dropping everything I've known and grown accustomed to. The first she cheated on me was while she was pregnant with our daughter in 2005. It was a long-distance relationship with a person she met in a game she played with me. It was mostly phone sex. Words cannot describe the feelings I had. I found out because I happened to check our phone account online. I confronted her. She became angry and I was about to just walk out when she broke down. I stayed. This stayed a secret. In a way, I partially blamed myself for not being a better husband. The second time was 2 years ago. She worked overnight shift helping mentally challenged adults living in residential, and this guy has been hitting on her. I knew about this initially and that she was rebuffing him, but at some point she continued the facade, but was really beginning to talk to him seriously and spend time on the phone. It led to her having sex with him twice. I found out just through my nagging suspicions, small clues, behavioral shifts, and cell phone records. She got HSV-1 from him. I was devastated, but after one night of not sleeping, I decided to protect my children from her. I visited her at her parents' house and set aside my hurt to pretend to try to make up to her. I managed to convince her to sign a notarized form saying that she is giving me full custody of the children in the event of a separation or divorce. I don't know how much water this holds in real court. However, in the process of pretending to be understanding, I fell for true understanding, and when she showed her true feelings and her hurt, I wanted to help her be a better person and comfort her. Damn me, she apologized to everyone on my side of the fam and hers. It was a big emotional moment that lays waste to all pride, beliefs, and ego. It was a chance for her to rebuild from the ground up. The following year was interesting. We had never been closer, but it was also very rocky for me emotionally. Now 3 weeks ago, I found out she was texting with a guy secretly. Mostly just flirting. It was like she pressed the do not press button. I automatically reacted. Had my family take out the kids and then confronted her after work. She became hysterical thinking I was taking the kids from her forever. Ended up moving to my parents' house and she moved to hers. A week later, my daughter tells me that she was touched down there by my younger brother. He denies this vehemently. This splits my family up since everyone believes my brother and thinks my daughter is either being manipulated by my wife or is under so much stress and is looking for attention. My personal view is that there is no way my daughter is making this up. I have looked into her eyes and spoke with her multiple times. I concluded that she is not making this up and is not looking for attention. Also, I concluded that my wife is not capable of manipulating the children and that even if she tried, it would not succeed. I ended up moving out of my parents' house in a firestorm of emotional whirlwind coming from my parents and older brother with my kids. Now I'm back in the house I'm trying to sell with my kids. My wife is also with us. My kids are happy again. This is a temporary setup while I figure stuff out. I know that my priority is my children ATM, so I have to set aside my trust issues and hurts temporarily until I have some sort of stability. My first act is to try to sell the house and just get an apartment in my name. As to whether we live together or not, I don't know. If I live with her and work out a parenting deal or have a full-blown relationship again, I don't know. Note: I still care about my wife, as in I don't want anything bad to happen to her and that she is well. However, I don't know if I want to even rebuild the trust again. I typed all of this up without checking spelling or anything, just a jumble of words from my messed up head, so if anything doesn't make sense or if you would like clarification, ask me anything. Edit 1. I am pretty firm on not taking legal action on behalf of my daughter. I feel it will do everyone including her more harm. Edit 2. I mentioned this on a reply, but my wife is not a sex predator. She loves getting attention from males and the time when she did have sex was coerced, but she did put herself in that situation emotionally, physically, and mentally. However, she does have trust issues and likes to lie. To me, this hurt the most during the recovery 2 years ago. Trust is more valuable than gold. Iota for kicking my mom out of my dad's old house after finding out what she's been telling my wife. I'm beyond angry about this. Some of my siblings are telling me it was an overreaction while also mad at what she did. I'd really like some thoughts because the house seems divided. My wife Kara and I were friends for years. She was in a very toxic and abusive relationship for 3 years until she had begged us to help her get out. It was difficult, but we made it possible. We all pitched in for her to stay as far as possible while she got a restraining order and all that jazz. We each took turns going to visit, then she found out she was pregnant, so I helped out more. Her ex passed from an overdose when my stepson was 4 months old, so since then we all became sort of like uncles, aunts to him. Around that time I knew I developed feelings for her, but we never ever did anything because she had her son and personal issues to process. It didn't feel right at the time. But yes, we did start a relationship 3 years later. She's the one who first admired, she's in love with me, so things went from there. We just got married. She's 5 months pregnant with our second child. I will say that yeah, my mom had issues at the start of our relationship because she believed Kara was faking what happened to her just to make me feel sorry for her and take care of them. We went through a period of not talking until she apologized, so we mended things somewhat. My mom came to stay at our house, which was my dad's house, until he decided to give ownership to me when they moved. He passed away 10 months ago, and with the economy my mom couldn't stay where they were living before. We are still trying to work out where she can live long term. I heard my mom get into an argument with my wife because she was trying to redecorate the nursery against Kara's wishes. All I heard was my mom telling her she's not the lady of the house just because her fake victim sob story worked on me. She looked flustered when I demanded her to tell me what that meant. And basically she held on to that same belief, but she was willing to put up with my choices on who I marry so she doesn't lose me. Everything she had to say infuriated me. And then, seeing how upset Kara was by everything, I called my brother to come pick my mom up because she can't stay here right now. My mom wouldn't stop crying to not do this to her just for being honest. She's still at my brother's, but they keep trying to talk me to let her come back because this was my dad's house and of course she wants to feel closer to him. But after asking Kara if this is the first time she's said anything, she revealed my mom has told her numerous times what she thinks of her and kept it from me because she knew it would hurt our relationship. For that reason I haven't let my mom come back. It's hard because I know what this house means to her and that she's still sad about my dad, but also can't forgive her upsetting my wife. I broke up with my boyfriend because of his views on cheating. This is a throwaway. I don't know what to feel. Me and my boyfriend have been together for 3 years now. Have been living together for 2 years. I know his family. He has one brother, Sam, who is married to Lisa. They have one daughter who is 4 years old. He is very close to his brother, which resulted in me being closer to his wife and kids too. Sam sometimes comes to our place and plays video games with my BF. One day, when they were playing video, Sam put his phone on charger in our guest room. I was there cleaning the windows when suddenly his phone buzzed. I went to look and there was a girl named Office texting him, "I had a great time last night. Your tongue is magic," with some emojis. I was a little shocked. Sam always shows how much he adores his wife. Even Lisa says he is the best husband. How could he cheat? This was the first incident. Then one day when he was at our house again, he was talking loudly while I was right by the kitchen while he was talking on the phone in our guest room with doors open. He was saying, "I love you," to a girl named Beth. This confirmed my suspicion even more. I told my boyfriend I think his brother is cheating on his wife. I asked him if he knows anything about it. His expression went blank. He told me he knew about it. I was perplexed. I asked, "What does he mean?" He began to tell me Sam has been seeing other girls on the side. He doubled it down, saying it is not a big deal because Lisa is happy, he is happy, and plus he doesn't like to mix in other people's business. I asked him if he thinks that his brother cheating on Lisa was right. How could he defend his brother over something so vile? He told me it is their personal life. Plus he doesn't want to ruin his brother's marriage. I told him firmly his brother's marriage was already ruined the moment he decided to stick his dick inside someone else that isn't his wife, and he clearly wrong for supporting him. How would he feel if I was cheating on him and my sister knew and never told him? He told of course he would feel bad. But this isn't about him. I just told him to leave me alone. Cheating is a deal breaker for me. I do not like people who are cheaters or support cheating. I can't even look at him the same way I used to. So, few weeks ago, I called him and told him this isn't working. I cannot be with someone who supports cheating and doesn't mind someone else cheating. He cried and told me to not do it. That he will do better and this isn't fair to him. I cannot punish him for what his brother is doing. I told him calmly that this is not a punishment but my decision. I already told him that cheating is a deal breaker for me. I will not tolerate it in any shape or form. I went to stay with my brother. 2 days later I went to our place to get some stuff of mine. He asked me if he could talk. I said sure. He told me he was wrong for not saying anything against his own brother. Lisa is a good woman and that he would ask his brother to stop. I told him that doesn't make me feel better. The fact that he thinks it is okay to cheat clearly shows he has no problem with cheating on me. He told me he is not cheating on me and that he will be better. I asked him if he could tell Lisa about his husband's affair. He went silent and told me he can't go against his own brother. Well then I guess he made his choices. I left his place leaving him crying on his couch. I feel bad. I love him but the trust I had for him is gone. I do not know how to tell everything to Lisa. I am not sure what to do. I feel lost. Update number 1. To those idiots who says that my BF is not wrong, I hope you find yourself in a similar situation as Lisa. I would like to know how would you feel when you learn that your husband betrayed you and people close to you knew about it and let you get cheated on day after day. He has covered for his brother on many occasions. He has lied to Lisa telling her that Sam is with him when he was not. Even if he didn't, him simply acting it is not a big deal. That a woman who is so loyal to her husband is getting cheated on is wrong and malicious in my eyes. Him concealing his cheating is also putting her at risk of STDs, and also what if Sam got one of those girls pregnant? Ever thought about that? It's not like they were in open or poly relationship. Update number 2. I cannot comment on my own post. What is up with that? It gets removed. But to anyone who is asking, I will tell Lisa. She currently out of town. I can send her a message but I have no evidence that Sam is cheating. Plus she told me she would not be near her phone. IATA for making my brother live with my parents. My wife is diabetic, so she obviously keeps sweets in case she needs them. She has a stash in the pantry with a few foods to bring up her blood sugar. My brother is staying with us while he gets a job and works up some money to get another apartment. We have a rather big house. He's sleeping in the guest bedroom, which is on the other side of our bedroom and office. He's staying here for free. He at the time didn't have to pay for anything, no groceries, no water bill, rent-free, and my wife washes his laundry. He just has to show how much money he's supposed to be making so we know he's actually doing something. We have 3 set rules. Do not leave you mess everywhere. If you are going out late, don't come it loudly, and do not touch my wife's stash. We have told him exactly why, and if he wants something in there he can write it down on the list of groceries that we have, and we go every Friday, but don't touch that as it is specifically for her. While I'm at work, my wife texted me asking to pick up a list of things all from her stash. I was confused because she just got more, but when I got there everything was gone, all of it. Ever candy she had in there, vanished. I asked her where they went and she had no idea where they went. Thank God she had some on her purse. I asked my brother and he started laughing, saying he took them as a prank. Those are meant to be funny, not health-threatening. I told him that he cannot ever do that again, and if that happens he won't have access to the pantry, and this is incredibly immature. I told him what happens if she doesn't keep her blood sugar up. He apologized to her. We stocked up. A week later, gone again. I went straight to him. He said he ate them. I told him he's now going to be buying his own groceries. He tried to plead and say he just had a sweet tooth, and that's the only thing he could find. I gave him a final warning and said that if this happens again, he won't be welcome here. I suggested he go to my parents' house then. My wife said he will just bring her stash into our room. We were good for about a month, until my wife texted me again while at work, understandably upset, and again, he took her whole thing. This time was it. Told he's going to have to stay with our parents. Our parents welcomed him. However, now he's told our whole family, and they are all blasting me on social media about how much a horrible brother I am for kicking him out, and I could have just put a lock in my bedrooms. I love my brother, I want him to succeed, but I can't keep helping him when he is literally making our home unsafe. I don't see why I have to child-proof my house from a 32-year-old man. I gave him 3 strikes. However, these messages are getting to my head. Was I being an ass here?